AFI wrote The Art of Drowning. They had gone through over 102 songs for that record. And I was mind blown by that. And then another producer that I worked with, Ryan Green, he told me once, not too long or not too far after that, if you want to write an amazing 12-song record, write triple the amount of songs that belong on that 12-song record. Because he's like, what you're going to do is you're going to end up with 15 to 18 that are going to be really, really great. And then he's like, if you can narrow those down, you're going to have basically an album full of just incredibly well-written songs.
This is Rob Ruckus.
Hey, this is Kate Clover.
Hey guys, it's Nick Collins here from The Effect and Better Strangers.
Hi, my name is Madeline Rose.
Hey, it's Ben McKelvey.
It's Tim Howard here from Mike and the Mechanics.
Hello, I'm Amanda Lehman.
I'm Billy Harvey.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Casey Sampson from the band Twist Stop.
Hey, it's Tony from Fastball.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Mitchell.
Hey guys, it's Matt here from the White Lakes.
You're listening to Almost Famous Magazine.
Come join us for this interview. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Everyone, welcome back to a very special edition of The Hang right here on Almost Famous Magazine. I'm your host, Scott Saldinger, and we're here hanging with musicians from every genre all over the world, sharing their stories. I'm glad you're joining us. If you're new, please subscribe and share. We appreciate the love. And you can also take The Hang with you anywhere you listen to podcasts, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. I'm super excited for this special episode because today, this band's album drops. All right. We got Denver's own Record Thieves, whose second album, Tragic Company, is dropping today. I want you to go out and buy this album. We're going to talk more about that toward the end of our conversation today. Hanging with us, we've got Jim Wilcox. We got Mike Waterhouse, Chad Gilbert, Erik Livesay. Livesay. Am I saying it live? Livesay.
Nobody ever says it right.
Livesay. Nobody gets my last name right either. And we're only missing one member of the band, but we're going to talk about him later on as well. So that you know, this is a 17-track masterpiece. Okay, Tragic Company is 17 tracks. It's an expansive evolution of their sound. It's their sophomore album. It's arriving with a reinvigorated, say that 5 times fast lineup. And let me tell you, it's channeling the intensity that Rockies, snowstorm, sweat, sunshine, and all. Let me tell you something. I've been listening to this. I love it. I can't say enough good things about it. Guys, welcome. Let's get this conversation started.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm excited. The Denver music scene is amazing. I got to tell you, we've had a number of bands on from Denver. There's a lot going on out there. And in the last few years, I'm here in Dallas, and there's been a mass exodus from Austin, Texas. And there are a lot of other cities that are like getting that kind of vibe that Austin used to have. So I'm excited to have you here. Where I want to start today is, what's the band's origin story? Let's let people get to know the band. How'd you guys come together to form the band? Let's start there, and then we're going to work our way to this amazing new album. Who wants to start, Mike?
I don't know. I guess Jim and I can expand on that. But what did I do? Sent out I just sent out something on like a band space that I was looking for someone to hang out with or do music with, because my previous band was kind of like wishy-washy. Not wishy-washy, but there was some shit going on. I mean, anyway, bands are whatever. Jim, go ahead and expand. Anyway, I was looking for a new band, and
yeah,
bands are bands, right?
I had basically moved to Denver and hadn't played drums since my previous band. Literally had not played drums at all. And my wife bought me a drum set, and I got back into playing, and I just felt that itch again. And so I posted something on Facebook, on like a local Facebook Denver thing, said I was looking for somebody, and then Mike reached out.
Oh, that's
and him and I, yeah, and then him and I ended up just meeting up at a bar, which is no longer exists as of a month ago. The Giggling Grizzly, they're gone now. They closed,
R.I.P.
which sucks. Yeah, so Mike and I just started chatting, and I didn't know anyone in the scene, no musicians in town. I was like new to all that, you know. So he basically started calling up people that he knew, and we just kind of slowly formed. And, you know, as bands do when you're starting something out, you go through quite a few band members, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, then we ended up with this lineup. including Alan, who's not here.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, people come and go. It's finding the right mix, right? So as you started to bring the band together, and you had your first album. This is your second album. Kind of, what were you looking for in new members when Erik and Chad and Alan were came into your lives? What were you looking for, and what do they bring to the sound that you're looking to make?
Well, from my perspective, we were looking for people that would play music.
That helps in a band. That helps.
No, it was kind of a big thing for us because as we all know at our age, when you're doing music, you've kind of gone through the whole we're just playing and it's just fun and blah 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 blah, and you realize that as you get older and you start to invest your time into something like this, that the chemistry between everybody in the band is just as important as whether or not you guys can play music together, because I mean, we went through a few people and the chemistry just wasn't there, and that's what happens. And with the original lineup, then Alan ended up joining, and Alan and I just became super tight. We seemed to have like the same perspective on everything, and that's how the original record came about. Alan and I sat down and said, we're going through a lot of people. Why don't we just like write a record? And so we did that. Mike was obviously there with us, doing all the vocals. We got it all done, or not done, but most of it. And then we brought in Freudian slip, Fred Marks. That's my old guitar player. Wow.
Damn, you're going deep, bro.
I know. We brought in Fred, and then Fred knew Chad. And that's kind of how the original The Wasting Time album lineup came about, and the chemistry was really great throughout all that. And then, Fred moved on, and he's got kids and he had busy life and all that. So it was moved on. And then we got Matt. And Matt was with us for a long time. And then Matt, again, he got busy and he wanted to concentrate on his business and stuff that he just started. So now we have Erik, and we couldn't be happier. So the core lineup's been pretty much the same. We were just trying to find Erik this whole time. That's what we were after.
So Erik, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
When they're looking for the right chemistry, what was your secret sauce? How'd you wow them?
Well,
he came in shirtless.
Yeah, I showed up scantily clad, pretty much. Yeah, showed plenty of leg. Made them tacos. Yeah. No, I mean, I felt like it clicked really quick. I mean, all of these guys are seasoned veterans. I love what they do, and I feel like I came in pretty prepared, and that's I hate to say it, but that's something that's kind of rare when you're looking for someone to join your band, putting up ads on Craigslist or whatever the case may be. A lot of people show up unprepared, and I did my best to not do that. So, I felt like it just worked out really well. We just clicked really quick.
Yeah, it was actually our old guitar player, Matt, had actually recommended Erik to us. When he was getting ready to leave, like, there's never been bad blood, you know what I mean? That was never a thing. Matt was like, hey, I need to kind of do this. I got to focus on this, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but I really think that you guys need to talk to this guy, Erik. Like, I really think that he would be great for you guys. And Erik was the one and only person we saw after that. He came in, like he said, totally prepared, just nailing stuff. We were all just like, the same day, we were all just like, so this works, and there's not, that's what you want, right?
Yeah, and I've known Matt for 10 years or so. I love the guy. I played in played shows with him with other bands of his before, and he's a good dude.
Yeah. Well, how about Chad? I mean, Chad, what was it like for you to like figure out how to, if you're going to gel with these guys and if you were going to fit in? What was that like?
Yeah, so I knew Mike from our previous bands playing together. And kind of at the same time, our old bands were kind of breaking up or what have you, going through some shit. And I think Mike actually hit me and Fred up at the same time originally about joining. At the time, I was pretty busy with kids and life. And I thought that my old band was going to some of us were going to try to start something up. So I was like, I don't really have time for two bands. I know some people have time for multiple bands, but I don't know how they do it, honestly. But yeah, so I originally kind of turned him down, even though I've always wanted to play in a band with Mike because he's the greatest singer in Denver.
Chad. I've always wanted to play with you, bud.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, so they went through a couple other bass players, and then Fred actually hit me up again, maybe like a year later or something. It was like right during COVID, right when COVID started, and I had just gotten laid off. I didn't have anything going on really, so I was like, sure. They sent me the songs, and I loved them, just learned them, and we met up, and rest is history, as they say.
Gave each other COVID.
Yeah,
amongst other things.
Yeah, we couldn't even get together for a while there because of COVID. So we were like, kind of just learning our parts on our own for a while until we could get together.
And then you got together and gave each other COVID. Is that it? Is that the story?
Yep.
That's a band is required to stick together for sure. let me ask you this, because I want to get into Tragic Company, but before we do, I want to kind of get inside the writing room with you guys. You've got a lot of diverse individuals in the band. You're all bringing some special stuff. How's the songwriting process go? Who's bringing what? Who's adding what? Is it a group collaboration? Are you each bringing like the germ of the song, and then, well, the germ of the song, and then you guys expand upon that. But what's that like, and how has that evolved since your first album? Let's talk about that, and then we'll get into Tragic Company.
You guys waiting for me to answer this, or do you want to answer it?
Go ahead, Jim.
So the writing process is involved very heavily with the one guy who is not here. So I would mention earlier how, we were practicing, we were kind of going through band members, trying to find that lineup. When Alan joined, I really had a really good chemistry with him. We just seemed to be on a very much the same page, and Mike was very into him as far as a person as well. Alan in one day just literally goes, Jim, do you want to just like stop practicing every week and trying to go over like the same stuff every week? Do you want to just like go up to your studio and just like write a record? And I was like, yeah, Mike, what do you think? And he was like, yeah, let's just do that. So Alan is one of those guys, I call him the diamond in the rough. He's one of those guys that you never realize he's been in this band, he's been in that band, been in this band, that band, whatever. But once you put him in the right situation, that guy just starts cranking songs out, and you're like, bro, slow down. Like, there's only so much information we can take at the same time, So it's pretty incredible. Wasting Time is the baby of him and I just sitting in my studio here, and just tracking every idea we could come across. We just kept tracking them, and then we would send stuff to Mike, and then Mike would write something on it. We'd be like, okay, that's dope. Let's set that aside, And then when Chad and Fred came in, we basically kind of had a foundation and just had them come in and just like layers on the cake. You know what I mean? So even with the new record, it was very much the same way. Like, Alan had a crap ton of ideas. I went through them with them, and then we kind of we had everybody help us try to build on it. And this would be with Matt previously. Our other guitar player, was more on this record. But it's crazy. Yeah. We kind of just treat it that way. I say this all day long. Alan is 100% like the writer of this band. Like, he just is crazy how much music that guy can crank out. It baffles me.
Yeah, and to that point, we kind of like stepped away and started writing online. Well, passing songs back and forth to each other online. COVID kind of like was the boost in that, making sure we all had the right equipment and all that stuff. So, and I wasn't particularly used to that, I was always writing in the same room and with the band and, working out parts that way. This was definitely a different approach for me, personally, but this new album, Tragic Company, was all written like that. Like, Alan wrote most of the parts, the guitar parts, sent them to Jim. Jim and him kind of like worked out the structures and stuff. Then they send them to me, and then I kind of just did my thing to it. So,
yeah. And then basically when everybody comes in to record, I act as the producer, right? So when people come in to record, I just help kind of shape what people are doing and try to do this here or change that there. Mike and I work a lot with vocals. He's got such great ideas, and there's sometimes we have to shift a little thing, whatever, you know, we're round. I call it, you know, taking a square and making it fit in a circle. You know what I mean? Like just rounding out the edges. But it's fun. I mean, it's definitely different. But Alan and I work really well that way. He has a studio set up at his house, and so he's can just sit there and put ideas down. I mean, he came up yesterday. We were up here for like 5 hours, and he has like 6 new ideas already. This album's not even out yet. He's already got 6 more song ideas, and I'm like, really, bro? Like, can you? Is there a pause button? Can we just put pause for 1 minute? You know, but you know, I love the guy for that because there's never a shortage of fresh stuff. You know.
Well, I think that's incredible because we now know that there'll be an album number 3. That's great, and I'll be honest with you, you know, I think you said that he brought you like a crap ton of stuff. In today's music world, where a lot of bands are like, you know, just a single a month. I'll just release a track. You know, maybe they don't even do an album. 17 songs is an opus. I mean, this is a big album. This is a big album. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of output for sure.
To that
so
point,
it's great.
I think Alan and I went through over 50 songs.
Wow.
Yeah. So if he was here, he would love to chime in right now because he would tell you, I'll come up with an idea and I basically send it to Jim and wait for Jim to reply back. That sucks. Keep going. Like. Because that's what that's what I do to him. Because I know what he is capable. I know Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, we made it a point to kind of write a lot of fucking songs and kind of cut all the fat.
Right.
So
it was a big thing with me. And this goes way back even before my previous history. I heard at one point in time, and I could be completely wrong, but this is stuck in my mind. I had heard at one point in time that when AFI wrote The Art of Drowning, they had gone through over 102 songs for that record. And I was mind blown by that. And then another producer that I worked with, Ryan Green, he told me once, not too far after that, if you want to write an amazing 12-song record, write triple the amount of songs that belong on that 12-song record. Because he's like, what you're going to do is you're going to end up with 15 to 18 that are going to be really, really great. And then he's like, if you can narrow those down, you're going to have basically an album full of just incredibly well-written songs, at least 4 singles, you know, all this other stuff. So I brought that mentality to Alan and I was like, yo, I just want to keep writing. I want to keep writing until every single song I tell you that I think is great. I want you just to be like, oh, okay, wow, yeah, I wasn't expecting you to like that one. And that's what I was going for, you know? And then a huge portion of it came down to what Mike was going to do on the songs too, you know? When he brought a vocal back, I would also be like, hey, this is a great one. Listen to Mike's vocal on this. This is freaking amazing, you know? So we kept going that way.
It sounds like you guys have a kind of a production line going.
As best as we can.
Yeah. Hey, I'm curious. I'm going to ask Erik, and then I'll ask Chad. So, you know, you've got the 3 of them kind of plowing through this stuff, and then you're coming in and putting your parts on. When you are hearing the germinations of these songs, how are you making some artistic decisions in how you want to add yourself? Right? Like, do you look for, hey, I can kind of get the way the texture's going of this? Do I want to create a different sound? Do I want to give it a different vibe? What are some of the things that are going through your head when you're getting first exposed to these songs? Erik, I'll ask you first.
Well, the thing is that I didn't write anything on Tragic Company. I joined after that album was written. So it's actually an ideal time for me to join the band because they already have one album. They already had one album out, completely put together. Wasting Time was on its way out. So, you know, that's 2 albums for me to learn their writing process and to work with them and just see how they work in general, how they function as a band. And just vibe with these guys more and just learn them more, to a point where, you know, by the time we've got this album out, we're all playing all these songs comfortably and everything. I'm integrated enough into the band that when we get into writing the third album, I'm going to be a lot more comfortable putting my own style over things and working with these guys more. It's just going to flow so much easier. But yeah,
because of the way you answered that, when we come back to talk about the next album and record another session of this, I'm coming to you first. I want to know what you put on that album.
Yeah,
I want to. Sure. So you better take notes. Chad, how about you?
Yeah. So basically, when Alan and Jim are putting these demos together and stuff, they're writing bass parts too, and I really don't deviate too far from what they write because they're so good. I might add.
He's got his own good stuff that he puts in there. Don't worry.
Yeah, I might add like little things here and there, but basically, I just focus on learning the demos, what they have, and then I'll add a few things here and there.
To your point, though, Chad, you did all the bass. I mean, we wrote a decent amount of the bass on Wasting Time, but you ended up playing all that and like kind of adding. You know, you and I, when we recorded Wasting Time, we added quite a few things that you were just like, I had this idea, blah, blah, blah. And then with the 3 singles that we did, you did all the bass on those 2. This Tragic Company came down to more of a time crunch. We were trying to get another record done. And, you know, I mean, come on, we're all in our 40s. All these guys, except for me, have kids. We all have careers. I own 2 businesses. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has lives. And so Alan and I got to the point where we were like, man, if we don't start tackling this stuff, this record's not going to come out till 2027, you know, like, so I had reached out to Chad and we had reached out to Matt and we said, hey, you guys, like, if you guys just don't have time to record, like, we can record everything, but we really want to make sure that we're not stepping on people's toes. I don't want you to feel like you don't have input. I don't want you to feel like you're not doing your part, you know? So it was really just a time crunch. And that was the way this record just ended up like that.
Yeah,
you know,
I
think
as difficult as people think.
Well, I mean, I think it sounds like there's a level of kindness there too. I mean, you know, understanding each other's lives. I mean, look, the next album, you know, some people might have to give up the kids just so they have more time to work on it. But, you know, you can always have more. So, you know, some kindness amongst each other to recognize those things. Well, Jim, it doesn't seem like you're on the road to any, but the other guys, you never know. I don't know. I don't know them well enough. Yeah. You know, it sounds like there's a kindness there. Then I think that from what I've listened to in the song, it helps you guys gel. I mean, really, the album is well put together, obviously great. And the difference in the songs and the textures and the tones, I really enjoyed, because 17 songs is a lot to listen to in this day and age, right?
And in all transparency, there are 3 songs on there that are previously released. But we were amateur about it, and we were just writing so much that we weren't like necessarily aware of the time constraint we had on the vinyl. So we had too many songs to put on one vinyl, so we actually added 3 as like a bonus on there, or 3 singles that we released previously.
No.
There's still a lot of songs on there. It's still a good 45, 50 minutes of songs on the album.
No, it's a commitment. I mean, there are a lot of albums today that don't clock in at 30 minutes. So, you know, it's a commitment to listen to. And I as a listener appreciate that.
I feel like the average band these days is just releasing EPs because it's just easier, you know, like to sit down and, you know, like if you go back to my thought behind writing more than what you need, right? You sit down and write 10, 12 songs, and then you choose the best 6 and you put out a great EP, you know what I mean? And that's easier to do. But I don't know. I feel like there was something about Alan was just like, I want to put together like just a record. Like I want to do like a record, you know? And I was like, hey, like, cause we've discussed in the past for sure doing EPs.
Yeah. There's not fillers and stuff. We didn't put we tried to like cut all the fat. We tried not to put any fillers so I don't know. I'm proud of it and I'm stoked about it. It's fun to listen to a whole album. Like,
yeah. I still have like 4 or 5 songs that are fat trimmed, as Mike's saying. That I still think have potential. So you never know. They might end up on the next record. Who knows?
Yeah. I think it's a lot about how you treat it too. I mean, like even a full length album, you could still treat it as all singles. You could release every song as a single. You know, I think that the general consensus in the industry now is that people's attention spans are a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
Mine
focus
is.
more. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people focus on singles a lot now and just pushing that one song as hard as they can all over social media and everything. And it's just kind of the way things are working now. But I
what
think
trips me out too, when you I have a band that I record that's local in my area, and I started recording them when they were 16 and 19 or 20, and they're now like 18 and 23. Like, they're young guys, right? And it baffles me how much these guys have never listened to an album.
Yeah,
like
that is a lost art.
Yeah, I literally will ask them, like, have you heard this record? And they're like, no, what song's good? I'm like, what do you mean, what song? Why do you guys keep asking me what song is good? Listen to the record.
That's because it's all about playlists these days. Everybody has playlists. People don't listen to albums, man. It's pretty rare, unfortunately.
And
it's
so
hard as fuck to curate the playlist on your album. You know what the song orders are and shit. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm trying to explain to them, and I tell them all the time, like, you guys, I know we've been recording singles for like 2 years now. We just record singles, and I get that, and that's what you guys want to do, and that's fine. I'm not arguing with you, but I would love to see you guys record an EP or like 7-8 songs, because I want to pull you guys and place you over here and show you what it's like to try to put together 6, 7, 8 songs that cohesively go together. Because I think by doing that, it'll make them appreciate what like listening to a whole record is, you know?
No, absolutely. I mean, I miss the experience of you know, starting and getting to the end and getting inside an artist's mind of like, why was the ebb and flow of these songs? Why was it sequenced this way? You know, if you remember, you know, there's so many albums back in the day where you'd have segues between songs, and you know, it just gave it a feeling. And now
Goldfinger's debut record, it has to be the top of that. It has to be. The skits in between that record. A lot
of the skits, yeah, right.
But it's like, yeah, I mean, to this day, you can't tell me. Every one of you guys could tell me right now. To this day, if you go through that record in your head, you know every word to every single skit on that record, like without a doubt. You know, they did such a good job. It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different experience, you know, that we live in this world of shuffle. So I commend you guys. I mean, again, 17 songs is a commitment, and you know, it's a journey. And I like the journey that an album takes us on. I want to talk about some tracks on the album. I'm just not sure if I want to do it the way that I thought I would before. I was going to pull a couple out, but I'm almost thinking what I'd like to do to give people watching insight into why you feel some tracks are like the key to this album. What I mean by that is this. You know, I was going to talk about Cause and Effect, Fall From Safe, Scars, and That's Okay. Like, I hit on those 4, and I'm like, okay, those really, I think Jim sees where I'm going with this, because he's got the head nod going. Here's what I'm thinking though. You've got 2 or 3 singles that were released prior to the album dropping today. If I'm new to the band, if I'm just watching this episode and getting to know you guys, what song, or maybe 2 songs, do each of you feel are like the entree into the album, right? Like, if you were going to start with one song to get the feel of the band and the feel of the album, which would it be and why? Right? Like, what is the...
Yeah. Well, I don't want to answer it right now. I'll let Jim answer it, but it's kind of like, deciding which singles I guess we were going to put on there. It was just a pain in the fucking ass, honestly.
It's very similar.
And they don't have to be the single, right? I mean, you could be attached to a song going, wait a minute.
But Alan would answer this question the best, but he's not here, obviously. But yeah, he really wanted to encapsulate everything in the album, not just one song that was like faster or more punk or a soft song, just so, people could, but I wouldn't know what song that would. Jim, could probably answer that better.
Actually, I want to pass this over to Erik first, and then have Chad answer it. And then have you answer it, and then I'm going to go last because This is what he would talk about, the insight into your band members. I'm very curious to hear the answer to this question.
Yeah, for sure. You know, when we were originally talking about singles, one of the songs that was not on the list of potential singles was "All the Feels." And that one really stuck out to me a lot because I felt like stylistically it was a pretty big mesh of everything that these guys were doing. You know, it's kind of got like a punk vibe, an emo vibe, like a straight like rock and roll vibe. There's all these different feelings to it, and it's so seamless. It just seemed to work really, really well together, and that one really stuck out to me just in terms of embodying everything that these guys were trying to accomplish with that album. So, and it ended up being one of the singles, you know, when I pointed that out. You know, I think it just kind of needed to be said, you know.
All right, Chad, how about you?
Yeah, Erik, I thought that was the deep that you kind of mentioned.
No, it was. I nudged on the deep too, but it was all the feels.
The deep was Bruno's suggestion.
Yeah, okay. I did talk about the deep, but then I think I suggested it, and then Bruno agreed with that. But yeah, the first one was all the feels.
Okay. Yeah, trying to pick 3 singles. I think most every member in the band had like an idea of 3 different singles. Like it was hard to come together and pick 3 of them.
But Chad, yeah. let me caveat it with this. What I'm looking for is it doesn't have to be the single. It's what you feel is what speaks to the sound of the band. If I'm new and I haven't heard a single or the album, I've never heard the band before. What song do you feel is like the best entree into getting to know the band and the feel of the music?
Yeah, sorry, I was getting there. I just wanted to mention that.
Okay. All good.
Honestly, for me, it's just one song.
2.
Give us 2. We got time.
I would say probably Consequences. And honestly, Selfish Vice. Those would probably be my 2. Neither are singles, but that's okay.
What makes them your choice? What do you like about them? What is it about those tracks?
I just like the energy of them, the drive, and I don't know. I can't really explain it very well, but those are my 2.
All right, Mike, you're up, man.
I guess. I wouldn't know which one encapsulates the band as much, but I really like "Fall From Safe." Is I don't know, just the imagery of that song, and the deep. I guess the deep is it kind of tells people that we've come from a punk rock background, more that I don't know. We all come from a punk rock background, and the energy's there and stuff, and the melody. But
I feel like Fall From Safe has like really good personality. You know, it just has a lot of personality, and it's just ridiculously catchy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Jim didn't like that one. Just kidding.
I'm just kidding. I like, for the record, I like every song on the album. Fall From Safe was what I call my compromise. I was the one that pushed back on that song. I didn't really like the song overall in comparison to everything else. It doesn't that I didn't like the song, but Alan and Mike both really, really loved it, and they just kept pushing that on me. And I was like, look, guys, this is a democracy. I am not the final say here. If you guys really love, if you guys are both telling me that you really love this and we want to push forward, then we push forward. Like I don't have to truly love every song on the record, you know. There's always going to be a compromise no matter what. So, but yeah, that was my bottom of the list. It just made it on track 14 or whatever before those new other singles.
So what was at the top of your list?
So, I mean, so I'm with Chad on Selfish Vice. That has and will remain my favorite song on the album. I think that song, the reason why I love it so much is not only because it's a well-written song, but I told Alan, I was like, this is the greatest song you've ever written, in my opinion. It is just encapsulates so much growth as a band, as musicians, and us just, Wasting Time was a great record, but Alan and I just sat down and we were like, hooky punk song, or, how can we play hook style punk songs? And we like wrote a bunch of what we thought were real catchy tunes, and with this record, I was like, I want to push things. I want to get outside of our comfort zone. And to the point, he was writing some of the drum parts in MIDI on his keyboard, and I literally had to sit down and try to figure out how to use two hands to play what the hell he was doing. And I did. And so, but that's what I love about it,
And that was a cool point too. Like, Jim isn't the only one who has to like learn some shit that we write, or Alan writes, I should say.
No, I always, in fact, I tell him to. So back to the point, it's like Selfish Vice was one of those songs where there was like some stuff he did in there that I was like, this is amazing, So that's always one of my first to tell people. And then my second actually agrees with Erik. I love All the Feels. I always have. There's something about that song that's just like a little, and to me, it actually, I feel Mike captured that song the best. There's something about the way that Mike came across in that song that just, it kind of gives you goosebumps when you listen to it. It just feels very, very real, And so those are the two that I'm like, if you want to hear the spectrum of this band, here's the one side. We're going to give you some catchy stuff. It doesn't have to be very deep, but the vocals themselves will pull you in. And then here's the musician side of us. Like, we can get a little crazy, So
yeah, and it doesn't help when Jim dances the Carlton to like some of the riffs. To like, some of them.
well,
I'm like, it's not that poppy, bro.
Well, Mike, Erik, and Chad, what you didn't realize is Jim and I set this up. The reason he went last is this concludes our employee review section of this podcast, and you've all been rated now. And
I love it. That's awesome. We got to do this more often.
Absolutely. I think it's a great album. I think for people who love a great album that goes from start to finish, this is going to be wonderful. I think for those who are those shuffle listeners, those people who just look for one or two songs, they hear one or two of me over here, this is your opportunity to really invest in getting to know the music of a band. Spend time with it, listen to it back to front, find your space within it, and really understand why that experience matters. So my suggestion to anyone watching, is if you know someone who's one of those shufflers, sit them down with this album. There's going to be something for them. There's going to be something they're going to find and get them into that experience. So I'm on board with that idea. I think this is the album that the shufflers should listen to. One thing I'm always interested in is we all live these fascinating lives individually, and people come and go in our lives. But there's always that one person who has an impact on us, right? They could be an inspiration to us. They can be our biggest champion, our biggest cheerleader. Who's been someone in your life, in your music, who's been that person for you, that's helped you be, either inspired you or sent you in the right direction, or given you that push you needed to become the musician you are today?
That's a good question.
Right.
I'm not going first. I'm always the first guy.
I'll
all right. Well, Chad, how about you?
Go ahead, Erik.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was going to say, honestly, my dad has really pushed me, and not even in intentionally, really. Like when I was growing up, my dad hated my music. He hated everything I listened to. I mean, it's a lot of us, I think, deal with when we're growing up, right? And what's funny is that today he's actually, without a doubt, my biggest fan. and always listens to everything I put out. That's awesome. You know, gives me honest feedback on it. You know, one of the more recent singles that I made with my other band prior to this was about our family. It's something really important to me. Just having his support when before it was completely on the other end of the spectrum, very contrasting. It has been very, very important to me.
All right, I don't know which of you other guys is going to get that. I got the feels on that one. I mean, that's amazing. That
Sure.
really
Awesome.
like, wow, that is awesome. Chad, I'm going to come to you next, man. How do you top that? Who's that person for you?
I can't top that. My parents are great, but I feel like they don't really understand what I do. They don't get it. They think it's just like a fun little hobby, but it's more than that to me. No, but they're awesome. Honestly, I would probably say my person was, used to be Fred that we used to play with, because I was in a band for 10 years with him before. Then we joined Record Thieves together. I don't know. He's always just been real supportive, and he's such a great guitar player, musician. It just kind of like pushed me to be better. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I don't really have like family wise in those roles, but just musicians that I play with, they push me to be better. Now it's awesome. Now it's you guys and Alan.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thanks, Chad. You didn't mention me.
That's a
there's Mike coming in to lighten the mood a little bit.
Coming in hot.
Mike, how about you, Mike? Who's been that person for you?
I don't know. It's been, I guess, a group of people. It's all the haters, man. All the haters. I do it for them, man. No, there's definitely been inspirations. Shoot, it's hard to name some. Just, people that put their heart and soul into the craft and are always encouraging people. There's a couple people, I guess. Jim is one of them. Jim is just constantly working hard, man. He's just super hard worker, and it just like opens your eyes to like, damn, can't let just other people do things for you. Sometimes you just got to fucking step up and do it your fucking self. Is the only thing. I don't know, man. I don't really have anyone except my dog.
Well, I hope that I always am inspiring you, even like when we're working in the studio, my friend, because that's all I'm trying to do is help push you to be the best you can possibly be.
Yeah, we're all pushing each other to be better musicians,
100%,
better friends, better people.
That's great. Well, Jim, you get to go last on this one because you're first too often. So who's your
first? You're last. I mean, my parents were a big inspiration for me. I didn't know that I could play music to play drums until I was almost 17 years old. And then I just was able to play drums out of nowhere. And my dad was a huge supporter of mine. He used to come out into the garage and try to jam surf rock songs with me. And it was terrible. But my parents never, ever stopped. They always said, do what you love. Push to do your dreams. It doesn't matter what it takes. Just do it, that kind of stuff. But then over the years, I fortunately had a chance to meet quite a few of my heroes, which was great. And a couple of people that came along that were very inspirational to me. One was a buddy of mine named Dean, who these guys hear me talk about every now and again. He's a music producer. He just did Candlebox's latest album. We'll just put it there. Okay. That guy is a classically trained pianist, guitar player for 30 years. He's been an audio engineer amongst some of the best audio engineers on the planet, including like Dave Jordan, who did every Alice in Chains and all the 90s stuff that you ever listened to. And that guy has become a very close personal friend of mine who has also become a mentor for me when it comes to not only songwriting, but like doing production, mixing, mastering, all that kind of stuff. So he's just a huge, any question 24 hours a day, I can call that guy and he's like, hop in Discord, let's get on a chat. And we'll literally, that's why I said I do this all the time, is we'll literally get in a chat and he'll be like, okay, so like grab your guitar. Like, I'm going to show you something and we're going to try to do this. And I'm just like, dude, this is why I love you. Like, you're an extremely busy person, but you'll take 20 minutes out of your day to show me some dumb guitar chord because I'm a novice guitar player, And I think it's amazing. People like that are constantly there to make us better. And then to second that, Alan is actually another one of my biggest inspirations because that guy, he just baffles me. He literally just baffles me at every turn. Every time he's coming up with 6 more songs or 5 more ideas, I'm like, how do you do this? Like, I might be good at like editing and mixing and recording, but how do you just come up with all these song ideas in thin air? Like it blows my mind. So he's constantly inspiring me and pushing me to be a better drummer. Again, programming things in MIDI that just I would never probably do on my own, but he pushes me to figure it out, So, yeah.
All right. Well, let's round the corner out of the band therapy session portion of this podcast now and move into what's the rest of this year have in store for you guys. Album dropped today. What's going on? Are you guys going to play some shows in the Denver area? Can you get out for a run of shows anywhere? What comes next?
Alan and Chad just got signed to WWE. They're going to go bikinis on WWE and they're going to wrestle. Come on, guys.
So they're going to take a break till the next album's ready, is what you're saying.
Yeah. They're going to wear those banana hammocks and they're just going to wrestle on WWE.
Well, someone's got to step up for the Hulk being gone. So I guess
I know, right?
Chad, you're next in line.
All right, I'm working on my handlebar mustache.
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh.
So no, I mean, are you going to be playing out? Are you going to bringing this live to anybody? What's going to happen for the rest of the year?
I mean,
the plan is to play out more for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chad.
I was just going to say, as of right now, we have a album release show on October 25th at the Rick House in Denver. Hopefully the vinyl is here by now.
Great. There's gonna be a vinyl version. I love it. That was a question I was gonna ask.
Yes.
We'll have a link to purchase the vinyl version down below, as well as tickets to that show if you're in the Denver area. Totally gonna have that ready.
Yeah, the vinyl's a little special too. So we did it's a 2 vinyl set this time around. It's a fold. It'll be 2 separate vinyls, and then that's how we got all 17 songs on there. It was a lot to try to fit on one record. There's not enough space, literally not enough space. So we ended up having to do 2 vinyls, and it's cool. We, the way the artwork came out and all that stuff. We're proud of it, So
yeah, shouts out to Sebastian.
Yeah,
Sebas.
He does
for our artwork,
stereo design.
Yeah.
He does a lot of artwork for No Effects and Simple Plan, bands like that.
Yeah, we were happy to have him, give us a piece of artwork for our little spot on the totem pole at the bottom down there, amongst all the bands that he works for. So
and
he's
shout
a good
out
dude.
to Thousand Islands Records for putting it out.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I'm excited. And I'll have to get look at there.
Look at that plug.
There's a plug for you. You can put that full screen. I'll have to get a copy for my niece to help fill up her record collection for sure. She is not a shuffler. She is
awesome.
listens. She sits down from front to back. She's a
I gotta get one for mine too.
There you go. Oh well, dude. Maybe
hey,
if you're one of those kind of collectors, we'll have you on for an episode where we do 3 albums that you're going to take to the grave with you. Yeah, that
Scott,
collection dates all the way back to 1908. I have my grandfather's, my father's, my uncle's. Yeah, I have glass vinyl over there. It's pretty crazy. the story of how I actually got a hold of all that vinyl is pretty awesome.
Well, we're gonna have to sit down another time to get that for sure. And maybe we'll invite Alan to see if he shows up. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah. What? Real quick, what's your favorite album that you listen to front to back?
Oh man, Peter Gabriel's "So" is one that I absolutely love. The sequencing on that album is amazing.
Thank you. Nobody mentions Peter Gabriel hardly ever. Like, legitimately, people just don't mention Peter Gabriel, and I think he's absolute just genius. Yeah. No,
he. I mean, that's where I come back to. Even and look, it's same family tree. Phil Collins' face value. Sounds as fresh today as 1980 or 81 when he recorded it, and the sequencing on that album has such an amazing emotional flow. It's hard. You sit down and you go through his cathartic life of that, the breakup of his marriage and the thoughts going through his head. It's really incredible. I love a well sequenced album. Honestly, it's the music can be so, but the sequencing can get you because it takes you on a journey. I graduated with a film degree from my university, and when you think of storytelling through music and picking people, another one, Marillion's Misplaced Childhood, amazing sequencing on that album. Right, amazing sequencing. So those are some of them that I just absolutely love. Yeah, for sure.
NWA Straight Outta Compton.
Now that's a journey. And it's interesting because there's a band out of Las Vegas that I had on a while back called the Implosions. I don't know if you've heard. They're more of a garage rock. Their first album that they just recently released, the best way that I can describe it is a journey to Las Vegas where you show up you end up on a 3-day bender. You hit all the high spots. You wake up at the third day in a gutter somewhere with your last $5 and a lot of shame and regret trying to get back to the airport. Because their lead singer, she's a history teacher, and they take you on this historic Las Vegas journey. And it's amazing, the sequencing and the story they're telling. So that's kind of stuff that I really get into.
What are they called? I want to write that down so I can look.
The Implosions. It's two married couples who decided to become a band. They were they were playing roulette at the El Cortez, and they realized that they knew each other. They used to live near each other. They don't hang out enough, so they decided let's form a band. I mean, it's really and it's hard to find albums that do that for you these days. It really is. Sure, so I highly recommend that
one. If you get into the latest record that's done that for me, that I think is we are cursing on this fucking show, right?
Say whatever the fuck you want.
I don't know. There is an album, then these guys, they've released a couple since then that I think are not as good, which is even more hilarious to me, but they're called Nothing But Thieves. I don't know if you know those band.
I photographed them.
Okay.
It's thanks to Nothing But Thieves that I know about Kid Capiche.
Oh my God, right?
Oh, shit.
But Nothing But Thieves, that album with I always forget the name. It's a girl on the front, but it's all dark gray and she's kind of outlined in gold.
Yeah.
That fucking record is a goddamn masterpiece from start to finish. It is mind blowing. I mean, I kept trying to get Alan to listen to this. I know I've told you guys to listen to it a few times, but I kept trying to get Alan to listen to it, and he always forget. He just forget. So one day he was here, and I was like, listen to this, and I fucking played one of the songs on there. I think it was Amsterdam, and Alan just sat here with his fucking hand over his mouth, like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm like, I'm telling you, bro, you need to listen to this record, start to finish. There is not a bad song on this album. It's unreal how good this record is. In 2014, 17, whenever it came out, which, again, to your point from earlier, it's so hard to find bands that can put a catalog together that is that incredible, reminiscent of the Phil Collins and those guys, So.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely a great band. And I photographed them here in Dallas They're not easy to photograph because their lighting director loves to keep them in purple the whole show. But thanks to them, I discovered Kid Capiche, which to me, and I'm an 80s punk ska guy. Okay. Huge Madness fan, huge Toasters fan, love that stuff. And the best way that I can describe Kid Capiche is if you take the energy and the angst of the Clash and you mix it with Madness's lyrical sensibility, you've got Kid Capiche. Would you agree, Jim?
I would love to tell you that I do, but I don't know them, so I just wrote that down.
Dude, yeah, Kid Capiche. You guys got to check them out. They are amazing. They're twice now. They were supposed to. Oh no! They're from the UK, and 2 years in a row they were supposed to play Punk Rock Bowling, and for whatever reason, first year they ended up on tour with Madness, and then I forget what happened last year. This year's Punk Rock Bowling was a little rough. I mean, a number of the bands weren't able to make it due to current issues. Gotcha. We'll just leave that at that, and that's a whole rabbit hole we can go down. Yeah. I always love to know this because my mother's amazed by me because I'm like, hey, I want to meet that person. I want to work with them. I want to talk to them. I want to get to know them kind of thing. And the next thing you know, I just go out and do it. Right. And I believe there are those people out in the world that if we had a chance to get in a room with them, some magic could happen, right? Somehow we could collaborate and make something. Maybe there's someone, a musician, an artist who's inspired us. We love their work or whatever. I like to find out who is one artist that if you had a chance as an artist yourself to get into a studio or into a room with and spend a day to create together, who would it be and why? And because Jim has gotten to go last a few times, he gets to go first this time.
Honors to golfer one. Chad and I golf together quite a bit, or we try to golf together quite a bit. So I always have golf jokes. That is the easiest. That is the easiest question in the world for me to answer because it's Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. I have looked up. Let's go full disclosure here. I was not a Nine Inch Nails fan growing up. I was into hip hop. I listened to a lot of rock music, but I never really got into like industrial. That stuff was kind of off the wall in the 90s. You know what I mean? But somewhere in the mid 2000s, early mid 2000s, it was right about the time, I think it might have been later than that, but it was when the album With Teeth came out. And I heard the song Every Day Is Exactly the Same. And that song just basically like opened my mind up to what I consider is Trent Reznor. And then, it's like you get that little doorway open a little bit and you start getting into that rabbit hole. And I was like, this guy, he's great at programming. He's great at, piano. He's not the greatest vocalist, but he makes his vocal work because that's what we did, right? You didn't have to be a great vocalist in the 90s. You just did what you do. And if it was unique, it works, But all the videos I see of him creating, even with his wife and How to Destroy Angels and all that other stuff, like every time I see him work, I'm just like, I just want to be in the room with this guy for one day. Like, I just want to just nerd out with this guy. All the modular stuff that he does, like I'm super into all that nerdy shit. So yeah, that's a no-brainer, easy answer one for me.
Well, if anyone hanging with us, has a connection to Trent Reznor, hook Jim up.
Chad will take care of you.
All right. Well, okay. So now Chad, I
don't know what that means.
You're up. Who's your person?
It used to be, and I got to work with.
He's great.
Sorry.
Fred Again's great, by the way. Fred Again.
Yeah,
Fred
I
Again's
know.
great.
I love Fred. Love you, Fred.
No, Fred Again. He's an EDM artist. He's great.
Oh, Fred Again. Fred is a part of this because my last band we got to work with Trevor from A Wilhelm Scream. He produced our last album. We flew him out and did it at Green Door Recordings with Felipe in Denver. We spent a week there with him. He produced our album. It turned out better than I could have ever imagined, and it was just amazing to work with him. I don't know. I mean, as far as now, I always thought it would be interesting to work with Rick Rubin because he's done so many different albums. I know he doesn't really play an instrument, so it would just be interesting to just get his ideas and stuff, what he would be able to do with Record Thieves, I think would be cool.
Yeah. Anyone out there who knows Rick Rubin, you got your marching orders. I mean, with this, let me tell you, if we got 4 people here, and if we get 2 of these that come true, imagine what the next album is going to sound like. Erik, how about you? Who's your person?
I a little while after I started getting into punk rock, I found out about that band Bracket from some compilation albums and became a huge Bracket fan. And Marty Gregory, the singer guitar player, is just an amazing composer. And I feel like I learned more about vocal composition from him than almost any other musician that I've listened to. The guy, nowadays even writes his own like string quartets. He's an amazing engineer. They built their own studio in a trailer that unfortunately burned down. So I don't think that they have that anymore. But he was a very, very inspirational musician to me, and shaped a lot of the things that I do today. I've always kind of taken the back seat with vocals for the most part. I've had a couple bands that I've been the lead singer in, but I actually really like writing harmonies. I like writing harmonies to vocals that are already there because I feel like I've gotten really good at that. And I attribute a lot of that to things that I learned just from listening to things that he's written. Because I don't know if you've heard any Bracket albums, particularly I would listen to the album Requiem. The vocals on that are like on par with Beach Boys kind of stuff. It's just really, really crazy, like 4-part vocal harmonies. It's really good stuff.
Cool. Well, anybody out there know Marty?
Yeah. And
Mike.
to extend on that, Erik came in the band really good at that. Like our previous guitar players were decent at it, but we were missing a lot of the backup harmonies in our live sets.
We're working on becoming
Erik
the punk version of the Eagles right now.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Now so obviously we'll have to get you a slot at the Sphere then.
Yes, please.
Or a
All
ticket
right, Mike,
just to watch and go.
Who's your person, Mike?
There's so many, but I guess if I'd have to name one, it would be Tony Sly, but he's not here no longer. Rest in peace. But he was just the best songwriter lyrically, and in my opinion. And closest one to that would be Joey Cape. I would love to work with that guy. He's just super good at his lyrical writing, and I feel like he's been big inspiration for a lot of my time and Lagwagon. But yeah, so if anyone knows Joey Cape out there, tell him I said what's up. Tell him
You shouldn't be driving now, Dave.
Does he still do the 1 week records thing?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't seen one in a minute, but
that was cool. Well, it was a really cool idea because he did it. He started it up because he kind of hated how he would hear bands put together demos that he really liked, and then they would go to the studio and kind of lose that magic that was on those demos, by overproducing things. So the whole idea was to make a whole record in 1 week. So that's all you get. You get 1 week to do it.
I mean, that's essentially how you used to do it back in the day, like my old band's first recording we ever did. We had the songs, obviously, that we wrote, a bunch of random songs or whatever. But when we went into the studio to record, it was all live on tape. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't like sitting down. It was nothing like what we're doing now. Like we had to at least get all the music right one take, and tempos would flow and like things were always weird. And the only thing you were really cutting separate was like, oh, we're going to do the guitar lead separate, and then we're going to do the vocals separate. But I mean, to me, there's definitely a magic that gets lost by not doing stuff. I have a buddy in Phoenix who just did a record like that, a band called Surf Through Death. If you're into like stoner rock, like heavy, like stoner rock stuff, they went and recorded with my buddy Jeremy Parker. Shout out to Jeremy Parker. And Phoenix, and they did the entire album live, no overdubs. They all got in the studio, they all sat down, and they recorded everything at the same time. And they would not give up until they all nailed the track perfect. Like, okay, everybody played it good? Everyone good? Everyone good? Okay, cool, print that. And that's how they did the whole record. No click track, no nothing. They were like, we're trying to find the 90s. You know what I mean? That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know if you know who Sharif Dumani is. He's in LA. He's got LA's People Talk. He's got the Exploding Flowers. He was part of Alice Back. It would take us another 30 minutes to go through the list, but he scours the world for replacement parts for all of his reel-to-reel recording equipment, because he still records tape. So yeah, I love
it's
that.
It's harder to find tape than it is to find the technology to use it.
That's a problem as well. I mean, and it does add a different feel to the final recording. It adds a different feel to the vibe. I mean, it's got a sound to it that's amazing. Then again, you know, if you're a shuffler who listens to singles that were all made digitally, you're not going to get what we were just talking about. But hey, It's okay, guys. This has been great. This has been great. Let me hit on one last thing before we kind of wrap up though. We have to support artists. Everybody go out and buy the Record Thieves album. Buy it in vinyl. Buy it online. They're not going to have the money to do a run of shows and produce another album unless you support them. We have to support our artists' work. Any merch on the online that people can buy as well, guys? You got any shirts, anything that people can buy? I'll hawk it all for you.
Stuff comes up online for sure. The album's always available on Bandcamp, which is huge. Bandcamp is a major supporter of musicians. They always do a Bandcamp Friday where they take no percentage whatsoever. So if you happen to catch it on a Friday, you know that your $10 for the record will go straight to us. No tax taken, which is amazing. Yeah, we always try to have merch. Whenever we get new runs, we try to see if we can have stuff up. I know Thousand Islands Records always has vinyl and stuff like that on their website, stuff like that too. So you can find it. It's out there. Maybe Mike will make another run of beer cups for us this time. Those were really cool.
Yeah.
I actually don't have one. Oh, wait, I do. Hold on. Where is it? I'll find it. 1 second.
It's behind an album over there.
It actually, I think it is.
It's so important. It's so important to support bands and artists, and we are big supporters of that. You know, we've covered a lot of ground on a bunch of things, but I'm kind of interested in one last thing before we go, guys. And Jim may not be able to hold himself to just one or two because of that collection he has on the side of the room. But when you're not making your own music, when you want to just enjoy music, right? Could be in the gym, it could be on a walk, meditating, whatever. You're out on a long road trip. Who are a couple artists that are currently kind of your earworms, and what do you really love about them? What does that bring to you? Why do you love their music? You know, just one or two. I always like to get an idea of what people are listening to. Erik, what are you listening to these days?
Well, there is a folk rock band from the UK called New Model Army. They've been around for a long time. They unfortunately don't get to tour in the U.S. because of some visa issues, but those guys are just phenomenal musicians. Everything that they put out is just, I mean, it has so much soul to it. And they are really, really good at fusing that kind of acoustic folk sound and that old school punk sound together, really melodically with a lot of heart and with a very mature feel to it. And that's something that I've been into for a long time. And I'll always find myself going back to the album Thunder and Consolation. So just a really great album. Interestingly enough, I drive for Uber a lot. these days. And so to be safe, I put on a lot of classical music. I've actually been listening to a lot of Vivaldi. Vivaldi is one of the most, probably the most versatile composer that I think I've ever listened to. Not to mention his stuff is just it's difficult. It's for virtuosos. You know, it's something that's really very difficult to play. It's almost like he was writing it just to say "fuck you" to the people who are performing it. But it's just beautiful music. And there are times where I hear some of his compositions and would never even know it was him because it's just so different from something else that he's composed. Just one of the most versatile of all time, in my opinion.
That's great. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, he created a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
For anyone who had to perform his music.
Yeah. Totally.
Chad, how about you?
Oh gosh, I'm kind of on a harder kick right now, which is a lot of Propaganda, which I've always loved. Love their new stuff. They just get better and better every album to me. Propaganda, Wilhelm Scream, stuff like that I get into. If I'm in a more mellow mood, I actually really like Iron and Wine. I don't know if you've heard of them. The Decemberists, just like chill stuff like that. And of course, a lot of punk rock in between. But
there's this band Record Thieves you might want to check out. Mike, how about you?
Oh shit. So if I'm like on a long road trip, is that, I'm an overthinker.
Just
what
do you enjoy listening to? Pick a mood.
I mean, shit, man. Oh fuck. I'll go. I've been listening to a lot of metal lately, but I don't know. Fuck, man, this is so hard. I'm a shuffler. No, but
Spotify sucks
right now. Yeah, right. Hey, I mean, you're right. You are correct, but I'm not sure if Scott has his stuff on Spotify.
Well, we are on Spotify, but I still want people to go out and buy your music.
Yeah, no, I've been jamming the Mad Caddies lately. Old stuff like the Mountain Goats. I don't know, good storytelling stuff. Amigo the Devils, really good one. But
dude, Amigo the Devil, just saw him for the second time at Punk Rock Bowling. Unbelievable. I'm so sad about what happened to his house. Yeah, right? But his music it's just awesome. Definitely Amigo.
I hate to say it, but it does sound like something that he would need to write a super sad song about.
Oh, I'm expecting a concept album out of him for that one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's because you're losing everything like that. It's a whole range of emotions.
Oh yeah, no, he's super great. I love that guy.
Nice.
And
well, Jim,
Alan's not here, but he wanted me to let everyone know that he's listening to a lot of Insane Clown Posse, Hooba Stank, stuff like that.
Hanson Brothers.
Yeah. Alan's exclusively
now we know the
into
direction.
boy bands.
Now we know the direction of the next album for sure, where the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Alan writing boy band songs and me up front doing the Carlton. That'll be the record right there.
You guys might be the next Take That. Who knows? Jim, saving the best for last because he hates to go first. Who are you listening to?
So that I would say there's one album that came out a while back now that's been consistently back in rotation for me, and it's a band called Kiev or Kiev. I do not know how to say their name, but it's Kiev. Mind you, pre-warning, if you guys look this up on Spotify, whatever, you're also going to find a hip-hop artist under that, and it's not that is not who it is. Like, just that just big thumbs down to that guy, because his stuff is terrible, and I'm a really big hip-hop fan, so terrible. But anyways, I found these guys on the back end of a Walking Dead episode of all things. the credits rolled on a Walking Dead episode, and they had this song that came on, and I was actually drawn to it because of the bass. I was like, what is this? It's just freaking amazing sounding. So I looked up this record. The album's called Falling Burrow Wisdom Teeth, I think. And it's mind bending. It's so hard to explain what it is or what it sounds like. You just have to listen to it. All these guys sound like they have doctorates in music. We'll just put it that way. It's unbelievably incredible. And then that's, I always go back to listening to Nine Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins, those guys, because that's just history. And then the other thing would be the Nothing But Thieves record. That still is just kind of constantly popping back in, just one of those albums. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to be throwing a Record Thieves into my rotation on the stuff I'm listening to for sure, and everyone else who's watching should as well. Guys, this has been incredible. We've gone the distance. Had Alan been here, we may be doing this for 2-3 hours. I may have to bring you guys back with him, or maybe I'll just sit him down for a little while and we'll chat on a later episode.
He's out of the band at this point.
I mean, everyone's gonna be watching going,
come on, man.
Everyone's gonna be watching going, they talk about this guy Alan, but we never saw him, so we don't even know if he's in the band.
I wish I had a cardboard cutout of him. Like Alan actually has a literal cardboard cutout of Justin Timberlake at his house. I wish I had one so I could just sit him right here, just put him in the frame.
Yeah. For the next time you guys set up an interview, if he can't make it, get the cardboard, do a cardboard cutout. Everybody, this has been great, guys. It's been fabulous hanging with you, getting to know you all. This has been a lot of fun. Everyone who's hung with us, we've gone the distance today. This has been a long episode. It's a special episode. The Record Thieves new record drops today. Go out and get it. I can't tell you enough that you're going to thank me for it later. It's an experience, and you know what? It's an experience worth paying for, so buy it. Until next time in the next hang, everybody, thanks so much. Share this with your friends. Tell everybody about it. Come back. We do this on the regular, and we really enjoy getting to know people. So, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thanks for now, everybody.